Putting some new brakes on our lowboy trailer here on this beautiful day. Wanted to give you guys maybe something to reference for how to get these stupid ass split rim dually wheels off. First you got to get these wedges out. There's some nuts that hold them onto your hub, and that's what pinches your wheel to the hub. That sandwiches your outside wheel to your spacer, which goes between your duals. And yeah, those wedges are pretty much what holds your entire dually assembly on. Once you get that shit off, which how you get these wedges out is pretty much you beat on these edges. You can see where I've been hitting them right here. You knock them loose as best you can, and I was trying to pry them out with my 90-degree pry bar here, and it broke the tip off. Lame, but is what it is. I'll get another one. So once you get your wedges out, your outside dually will fall off pretty much, and then you got this, which will be on here tight. It's a pain in the ass to get off of there as well. You kind of need one of these 90 pry bars and just a standard pry bar, and you just work it back and forth until you get it off of there, and then that will give you access to your inside dually. And your inside dually will be on the far back part of your hub. And what I used to break it free was this, I don't know what you would call it, Porta Jack. It's labeled as a body repair kit, but we often use it to get a brake drum off of your standard axle big truck. So once you get that brake free, you wobble it off of your hub, and that will give you access to your hub assembly. You take your hub assembly, your wheel bearing cover off, take your outer lock nut off of there. There was no edges or whatever that you'd have to pry back with a pry bar. Your tool will look something like this if you have what's proper. Some people use a chisel, like you'll see on this one. No, it was this one, where they took and beat the chisel into it to break it loose. You can do that. It's gonna make your nut a little bit weaker because you have a fucking notch in it, but once you get that off, you'll be to this, and this just sits here in front of your back lock nut as a key. Once you get that off, I mean, you'll just be able to pull this off, but once you get that off, you'll have to have a bigger one, or I did, a bigger hub bearing socket there. And once you get that off, your bearing will be sitting in there in front of your hub, of course, but we'll just do this so you can see. Your bearing sits on back there, and it'll be inside your hub. So you just pull your, it makes it a lot easier if you relax your brakes and adjust them back, so or back your brakes off, so to speak. Makes it a lot easier to wobble your brake shoe and or brake drum and hub assembly off of there. Try to be nice with your bearing, and don't let your hub and brake drum assembly fall in your threads and ruin them. And you get your shit nice and clean. This one you pack with grease. It's not an oil bearing. You just pack your bearing with grease and let it ride, and same thing back together.